Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in this video we're going to be talking about FluentForms Pro. Now FluentForms is a powerful form tool for your WordPress website, right? It's a WordPress plugin, and with the latest update of their plugin, right, they have already introduced a conversational form that increases your form completion rate, right, by keeping it distraction free. Now, before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing or e-commerce content, and do check out the link in the video description to join our Facebook group if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast. Now let's dive into FluentForms Pro. Right, so I've already installed FluentForms in my website over here, and let's go through the setup process. There are basically two plugins, in fact three plugins that you have to install. The first one is the FluentForms base plugin, followed by the Pro add-on, and if you like to have there is a signature add-on as well. And what the signature add-on does is it allows you to accept signature inputs into your form as well, right? So you can actually use it to easily generate a contract or agreement or anything that you need to be signed on very easily with FluentForms as well. So let's dive in, right, to the integrations modules that we have over here. Okay, so there are about 30 over FluentForms modules that are already built in. Okay, and these are the features that they have. The first one is a user generation module. So what this does is, when you turn this on, if anyone submits a form, it actually creates a WordPress user within your WordPress site itself. They have a landing page form as well, so it gives you a landing page that is distraction free. It's easy for your people to actually input their entries into your form, right? And you can easily create a post with this module as well. They have webhook, Zapier, they have MailChimp, and these are all the mainly the CRM tools that are integrated. They also have Slack notifications, so whenever forms are submitted, you can have a Slack notification. You can save your forms into Google Sheets. You can send notification to Telegram. Everything, right, just done within FluentForms itself, right? And this is where you add your signature add-on plugin, right, and turn on your license, right? And then we have the FluentForms Pro license over here as well. And they also have a FluentForms PDF module here that you can easily install, and install the fonts in there as well, right? So what happens is that whenever someone submits a form, you can generate a PDF just from the submission itself, from the form fields and entries itself. Okay, and let's head over to the global settings over here. Okay, so within the global settings, okay, so this is where you set up your forms. This is the form label, right? So for example, this field is name. Okay, so do you want it to be on top of the form field, or do you want to have it on the left or the right? You can set that up. And then this is the help message placement, so it's kind of give people an idea of what to fill in the form. And the error message placement, so if someone enters the form field incorrectly, there will be a error message as well. So these features are in there, and you can have automated email summaries being sent to you, right? So this is actually makes things a lot more convenient for you to have a summary of everything that's been submitted over the week. Okay, so you can enable that. You can send it to the site admin or a custom email address that you want, and you can choose when to have it sent. Okay, right, which day you want it to be sent. And you can disable IP logging. So that means when someone submits the form, their IP address will not be saved within your form itself. And you have your form analytics, right? So you can disable it over here as well. And then your email footer. So whenever someone submits a form, this is what is in the footer of the email that goes out to your whoever submits the form, right? And then they have this honeypot security. This is actually for to prevent bots, right, from submitting your forms, because if you have bots submitting your form and you have a lot of spam that's coming through, it's going to overload your WordPress database very quickly, and you have a very heavy site that kind of slows down your site. So you want to make sure that if you are getting a lot of spam inputs, spam submissions, you can turn this on, right? It's in fact, they recommend you to turn this on as well, right? Because this will help you to prevent bots from doing this. And if you want to edit the forms as a using the classic editor, you can turn this on as well. And they have this is a very interesting feature that they have here. It's a no conflict mode, right? No conflict mode. So what happens is that if FluentForms is trying to load on a particular page and there are other plugins that is causing conflict, that's not so that FluentForms is not able to load, if you turn this on, it will try to prevent other plugins from loading, so that FluentForms is your priority to have it loaded. Okay, so you can actually turn this on as well. And they have a auto tab index. I do recommend that you turn this on as well. So what happens is that with auto tab index, it means that whenever someone enters the field, they can click on they can hit on the tab button on their keyboard, and it goes to the next field, right? It goes to the next field. And if you are going to be showing geolocation, okay, this is where you input your API token here. And do you want everyone to be able to access the form? This is where you set the permission as well, right? So the next one is double opt-in settings. Okay, so this helps you to make sure that your forms are correctly submitted. So you can you can enable double opt-in module, so that what happens is that whenever someone submits a form, it won't actually be submitted until they click on this particular button that is actually sent to their email. Okay, and you can set the form from name, email, and reply to over here. Okay, so what I recommend is that your from email, okay, you should always put your your website, the domain email, okay, so that way it doesn't go to go to spam, right? So you don't want to use like Gmail or a different website domain email, because then you will have a higher spam rate, that so that and then people are not going to be receiving this email, they're not going to be seeing this email. Personally though, I would actually turn the enable double opt-in module here, right? I would disable that. Right, the next one that we have here is the payment settings. So if you want to use if you want, you can actually make use of FluentForms to collect payments for you. Okay, FluentForms to collect payment for you. They allow Stripe, PayPal, and offline payment settings as well. Right, offline payment settings as well. Okay, so you can turn that on. Let me just click on this again. Right, so you can enable offline or payment method, right? So you can actually tell them, hey, you can pay maybe to my bank account or something like that. Okay, so you can set your business name, your logo, right? So so this kind of gives them a sort of an invoice. Okay, and the currency itself, and then the how you want the the currency to be displayed, and the currency separators, right? So if you are, let's say you are you're not from Europe, you probably use the comma, and if you're in Europe, you probably use the uh, this dot, right, as separator. Okay, so and if you want to hide decimal points, you can turn that on as well. And you can even create coupons, so people can actually you can show a coupon field. People can put in the coupon field, sorry, they can enter a coupon code that allows people to save, to get a discount, right? So you can actually create coupons in here, and the coupon, you can put in the coupon code, whether you want it to be a fixed discount or a percentage discount. If you want it to be stackable, is there a minimum purchase that they need to purchase before able to use the coupon, and then there's a start and end date as well. And are you going to enable this for all forms, or just certain forms to be able to use this coupon, right? So it's a feature rich so far. And we have the PDF settings over here. So this PDF settings, alright, so this kind of helps you to set how your PDF that is generated looks like. Okay, so you can set the paper size, orientation, and stuff like that, right? Okay, so do you want your report to be read from left to right or right to left, right? Because certain language, they are, you start writing them from the right to left. Okay, and uh, we have the reCAPTCHA here as well, right? So this is where you enter your site key and secret key, right, if you want to enable reCAPTCHA on your site. And lastly, let's look at tools. Sorry, and we also have the SMTP menu to take a look. Okay, so this tools over here allows you to export forms and import forms into your website, or actually have export your forms to another different website, and any activity logs in here, right? And the last one is the SMTP. So this menu here doesn't actually do anything. It just promotes their free plugin over here. It's called Fluent SMTP. Okay, and what Fluent SMTP does, it's actually very similar to what WP Mail SMTP plugin does, is that but it's actually way more powerful, because you can decide let's say which particular plugin you want to use a particular SMTP outgoing server, or if you or so they are recommending you to make use of the Fluent SMTP plugin over here, so that you can actually set your SMTP settings for FluentForms right here, right? If you don't use WP Mail SMTP or Fluent SMTP, what's going to happen is that all your emails that will be sent out is actually through the WordPress PHP mail itself, okay, which may not have very good deliverability. So if you have a dedicated outgoing mail server using Fluent SMTP to set that up, is going to improve your deliverability. Okay, so the last thing, I think that's all we covered, right? So let's try and set up a form over here. And the awesome thing about FluentForms is that they already have some really nice presets that you can just click and have it created. Okay, so you can create a blank form, or you can select one of these templates over here. Alright, so got products form here, got educational forms, marketing forms, non-profit forms, IT related forms, finance forms, right, and then HR forms, social forms, government forms, healthcare, right? So a ton of different forms over here. But what I'm going to be using is just the simple conversational form over here, so you can use it for polls and surveys as well. So let's get going. Okay, so this is the form. So you can set the fields, and these are what they have over here, right? You can use checkbox, and it's very simple. Just drag and drop over here, and if you don't want something, you just keep the bin trash can icon over here, and you can move it around, right? Just right, it's like a drag and drop builder. Okay, and you can duplicate fields very quickly over here as well, right? And so this is where you create your form, and in every single field, right, this you can change the label. This is the element label, so this is actually what shows up over here. So if I put email address, it's going to show email address, right? So this, and then this is the admin field label. So this is for you to identify what field this is, right? This is more for the back end for you to understand, and this is the placeholder. So this is you can change the name, right? Like abc at xyz.com, right? Something like that. So you can change whatever is in the field over here. This is a placeholder, and then error message. Okay, so if you put if this is required, then you can show an error message if they don't fill in anything, right? And any advanced option, if you want to give a particular point or value to this field, so you can use this as a calculation, you know, and any help message, uh, right? And then the name attribute, okay, right? And then whether you want to enable conditional logic as well. So for example, if let's turn this off. So for example, I could turn on conditional logic here, and I can show only if email field contains uh, includes, let's say uh, okay, so maybe let's change this up here. Okay, let's see here. Let's say maybe I have a rating. Okay, so let's say it's a let's say I'm gonna ask them for a review. Okay, so this one, okay, so I can put a conditional logic here that says the rating is, okay, so let me just change this. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that's good. And let's set this as required, and I can set, for example, if they say that the rating is not amazing at all, it's not amazing, then I'm not going to I'm going to show this, right? Show this particular field. Okay, right? So if they don't if they give me anything other than 5 stars, I'm going to show this field instead. Okay, and if they let's see, okay, if they don't I can show another field here, for example text, maybe not text input here, but let's say I put in a custom HTML, right? And then I can maybe put a button in here, right? Let's say I put a button in here, and I say click here to leave a review. Okay, and then maybe I link this to my Facebook review page or my Google My Business page, right? So this is, okay, so I got to put in a URL, so let's say I put in Google. Okay, so what's going to happen here is that let me just align this to the center. Okay, and what's going to happen here is that if they don't if they give me a bad review, So let me just put in the settings over here. Okay, right, turn on conditional logic here, and if the rating is equals to amazing, and it's going to show this. Okay, so what's going to happen is that if someone give me a bad rating, okay, anything that is not 5 stars, okay, let me just turn this on here. Let me just check over here. Okay, so if anyone gives me a rating that is not 5, that is not amazing, I'm going to ask them why. Can you please please let me know why why you leave us a bad review. I mean, why didn't we make your experience the best, right? If they give me a rating of amazing, then I'm going to ask them, hey, can you leave me a review? Okay, so I can do a simple conditional logic like this with Fluent Forms, right? And then you can, of course, these are all the fields in here, so you can build any kind of forms that you want here. Okay, then the next thing would be the design. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so it feels like TypeForm, right? It feels like TypeForm over here. Okay, so this is how it looks like, right? Okay, right? Can you see that? You know how it feels like, you know, TypeForm. Okay, then there's a completion progress bar over here as well, and then we've got branding. Of course, you know, if you don't want that, you can just turn this off, right? And then you can set your design over here. Okay, the fonts that you want and all that, right? You can change the fonts to something that you want, right? Whichever it is. Okay, and whether you disable scroll to next, that means they can't scroll out, they can only fill in, they have to fill in everything. Disable layout on mobile devices. Okay, so you can see this is the mobile version, this is the desktop version. Okay, and if you disable, right, this is just going to show you uh, uh, entire form in mobile version, right, rather than a conversational form style. Okay, then we've got the meta here. So this is where you know change certain information. So like if you want to set up your you can put a what we call a open graph image over here. So this is where the title is. Then this is the meta description. This only works if you are having a landing page. You're using the Fluent Form landing page itself, right? And then you can upload an open graph image. Okay, and then you can ask for a password, right? Some sort of a password for people to fill in. Otherwise, they will not be able to fill in the form. And these are other form messages that you can show, right? And then share, right? So how do you want to share your form? You can send the link, right? You can send the link to your form, right? So this is the form here over here, right? Okay, so you can turn this, you can send the form, you can use this on and embed it on your website as a shortcode. You can use this for the classic form. That means it's just going to show an entire form. It's not a conversational where it's slides by slides, but it shows all the fields within a form itself. And then we've got HTML embed as well. So this is if you want to embed the form on a different site, you would then use embed via HTML code over here. Then we've got settings and integrations. right? So this is the confirmation message. All right, how do you want to align your form? Okay, so and then we've got any scheduling or maximum entries, right? So maybe only 10 people can submit this form or something like that, right? So you can easily turn this on and off. Okay, so can you send empty forms, right? If you can, if you want to allow empty forms, you just turn it off. If not, you can enable this. Okay, so definitely usually you will then enable this, right? Okay, and then if you want have them to be logged in to be able to submit the form, right? So these are if it's a survey, you can turn this on as well. Any compliance settings. So if you don't want to, if you want them to submit the form and you want to quickly delete the entries within your database, you can turn this on, and you can also auto delete any old entries, right? So if they submit a second entry, the old entry will then be removed. So this is email notifications, right? So do you want to receive any email notifications here? Okay, so you can then turn on or turn them off as well. Okay, and then you can create more email notifications over here, and you can even set conditional logic, right? So maybe the form, if it's very bad, okay, very bad, then you would then receive this email, right? So you wouldn't try and receive everything. So you can actually set that up for some to filter certain uh, entries that you are not looking for. Okay, other confirmation. So this is how you want to be showing your confirmation after they have hit the submit button, right? You can show the message on the same page or to a different page. Okay, you show it in a different page, or you want to direct them a different URL upon submission. Okay, so this is where you set that up, and we have PDF feeds. Okay, so you can create a template of your PDF, and then people can download the PDF form. Right, so this is very good if you want to have a what do you call that, uh, maybe like an agreement or something like that, right? So this generates a PDF easily. And then if you this landing page is if you want to use the form as a landing page. So I'm just roughly going to show you how it looks like. Okay, so this is the landing page over here. Okay, and this is how it looks like, right? It's not going to show the conversational form, it's just going to show a full form like this. Okay, and then we've got this is where you enter your custom CSS or JavaScript codes, and we have the marketing and CRM integrations over here, which is already you have to enable them within the global settings itself. And the last part over here is the entries that you receive. So if someone submits a form, you will then be able to see the all the entries that are being submitted. Right, so this is FluentForms, right? And I think with FluentForms, it is a very, very powerful form tool, because not only you can use it on your website, but you can actually embed the form on a different site itself and have those entries being fed within your main site itself, right? So if you are using a different tool, let's say you use a different landing page cloud-based tool, you can then embed Fluent Forms in that page and have those entries being sent over here. They have really good integrations like Telegram, Slack, Google Sheets, right? And then you can automatically create a user account. You can have a landing page. You can have conversational forms with powerful conditional logic. You can accept payment. You can have signature inputs. All right, and I think with Fluent Forms you are able to create a lot of different stuff, right? So if you like what you see, all right, and you would like to get Fluent Forms Pro, right, be sure to check out my affiliate link below. It will not cost you a single cent extra if you use my link to purchase Fluent Forms Pro, but it's going to help me to grow my channel and my community, and for me to be able to continue to deliver powerful content to everyone who's watching this video right now, right? And if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button and do share this video with others, and I'll see you in my next video.